I am Miss Natalie Noss Aldridge, and we brought Diplomat Elementary for your performance tonight. We also have our principal, Miss Vertrice, here with us, supporting our students and our parents. We will be singing quite a few selections for you, and at the very end, we will be singing the Star Signal Banner for you at the very end.
We're here to entertain you. If you can stay a while,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are now commencing the meeting of the regular school board meeting of November 9th, 2016. The time is 6 p.m. The meeting is now called to order. At this time, we request all electronic devices be turned off or put into the silent mode. We also ask that you please refrain from using flash photography. And we'd also like to take this opportunity to remind the members of the public of the district's mission to ensure that each student achieves his or her highest personal potential and the district's vision to be the world-class school system. Prior to the start of this evening's board meeting, we have been enjoying the Diplomat Elementary Ambassadors Chorus. Diplomat Elementary has had an extracurricular choral group since the school opened in 1991. The students practice every Tuesday for 45 minutes before the start of school. This ensemble performs at a variety of events during the school year. Their last song this evening will be our national anthem, The Star-Spangled Banner. Would you all please rise?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose lost stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight caused the world we know were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red that our flag was still there. Oh, say that that star-spangled and the home of
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, we're going to take a brief pause to clear the performance area. And again, thank these wonderful students for doing a song that's not that easy to sing. One more round of applause, please, as they leave. We're in recess. Thank you. We'll now resume this regular school board meeting of November 9th, 2016. We'll begin with this evening's agenda. It includes the invocation, the Pledge of Allegiance, one acknowledgement, public comment, the consent action item, which includes one item under resolutions, 3 items under executive services, 4 items under academic services, 5 items under business services, 3 items under human resources. We have 1 public hearing and 4 items under other business. Board members, is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. LaRiviere, second by Ms. Morgan. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. At this point, Ms. Fischer will deliver the invocation, after which Ms. LaRiviere will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Board member, everyone, would you please rise?
Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to gather together this day, and we ask your blessing on all here present. Please guide and direct this meeting so that it is full of wisdom and productivity. Help us to work with responsibility, to develop strong relationships with all of our stakeholders, and to have respect for one another. Inspire us to make decisions which will benefit our school community. Please bless and protect our country with a spirit of unity, and our students, staff, and their families with health, happiness, and peace of mind and heart. For this and for all of your gifts, we praise and thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Tonight, the cadet presenting the colors will be introduced by Major Paulette Provost, Senior Army Instructor at Cypress Lake High School, JROTC program. Major Provost retired after 20 years of Army service as a logistics officer. Paulette previously taught JROTC in California.
Thank you. The national colors for our Pledge of Allegiance tonight is presented by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Ashley Gallagher, Battalion Commander of Cypress Lake High School, Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. Cadet Gallagher is a senior at Cypress Lake High School and has earned a grade point average of 3.9. She is entering her 4th year as a member of the varsity Lady Panther soccer team. Ashley is also a member of Cypress Lake Advanced Placement Capstone Program. In the fall of 2017, Ashley will attend Florida State University and major in criminal justice. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the
republic for which it stands,
one nation under God,
God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. You may be seated. Our acknowledgement for today is the character word for November, which is citizenship, patriotism, the quality of an individual's response to a membership in a community, respectful devotion or allegiance to one's country. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. John F. Kennedy. The design you see on our displays was created by Sydney Borisov, an 11th grader at Estero High School. Thank you, Sydney. Our next item on the agenda is public comment. Mr. Martin, would you please read the disclaimer for public comment?
School board policy provides the opportunity at this point in the meeting to address the board concerning any matter on this meeting's agenda or any other matter relevant to the operation of the school district. If you completed a card and submitted that to me before the meeting began, you'll be called in the order of the cards submitted. If you did not submit a card but still wish to address the school board this evening, the school board chair, Mr. Torber, will give you an opportunity in a moment to express that desire. The rules concerning public comment to the school board are posted at the back of the room. The school board does not respond during public comment time to remarks made by speakers. At the conclusion of public comment time, the school board chair may address concerns raised by speakers or may assign responsibility to the superintendent to do so. Speakers are expected to act in a respectful manner. Those who fail to do so after being warned by the meeting chair may be required to leave the meeting. Disruptive attacks on individuals are prohibited. The time allowed per speaker is 3 minutes. Mr. Torber, I have 2 cards this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Is there anybody in the audience that did not fill out a blue card but would still like to address the board? Would you please raise your hand? Seeing nobody, Mr. Martin, will you call your first card?
Mr. George Fox.
Am I on? Yeah, thank you. We'd love to congratulate Mrs. Morgan. What a fantastic victory you had in your election. It's great. I was glad to be able to be there when you learned that you won. It was a great night. And it is basically a confirmation of the good work you have done on this board the last 4 years. Serving with you on the Finance Advisory Committee, I can say that you earned your reelection in the very best way. And good luck in the next 4 years. Speaking of the Finance Advisory Committee, I was hoping the board could update the status of one of the recommendations we made from that advisory committee was the asking vendors to provide internships for the students as a way of, giving back a little bit. And I haven't heard that one in a while since I'm not on the committee anymore. So I was hoping the board could sometime tonight update us on the status of that. And I want to thank the board. Some of the board members have commented and complimented me on being persistent and never giving up, which is, I think, a very good trait. And so I won't give up on the idea of this board getting out and getting into the public. Like tonight, this presentation, these children, what a wonderful thing that you could do every other Tuesday is go into a school and have a group like this at one of the schools come in and give a presentation for the public. So people other than who work at the school board can enjoy what the kids do. It might be a great way to build school spirit and bring parents in to where you can coach them up to get their kids to come to school ready to learn. Parenting works, and I am convinced after 2.5 years that this board needs to change its mode of operation. It does. What it's been doing in its entire history hasn't worked. So get out there, change what the board does, make it public outreach, be the Board of Education. We've got a new president coming in, and a lot of people think that's great, but as far as public education, not so much. His platform was basically charter schools and the whole voucher thing, not really a classic public school agenda. So you got that in addition to the state legislature, who's basically the same thing. You got a lot of work to do, and this board needs to get out there in the public and start making what it does have work for, who knows what you can get in the future. So what you do have, it's up to the board, not the superintendent, up to the board to bring the public into the school system, the parents and everything, and get those kids coming to school with a much better thing. Turn Lee County into the education epicenter of the world. And you can do that. You have the platform and the bully pulpit to do it. So I hope you think about that and add it to what make this board something special.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. Your time's up.
Is that it?
Mr. Anthony Thomas.
Members of the school board, fellow citizens, tonight I want to talk about a lady I've known for a long time, since I was in high school. For many people, Jeanne Dozier's name was kind of synonymous with being a member of the school board. And whether you agree with her or not, I can tell you if you're going into a fight, you want to have Mama Dozier, as we like to call her. We used to call Mrs. Shoemaker Mama Shoe. And, Mrs. Dozier has accomplished things in this county that very few women have ever accomplished. The longest serving elected woman that I can think of that's ever been around here. So, Mrs. Dozier, I know you're probably disappointed with the results, but I know one thing: you have left a lasting legacy for the Lee County School District. Your presence will be sorely missed. And I thank you all to walk away with your head held high because you've accomplished so much. You helped us on getting a student to sit up there. You were a champion for our students to get them to have a seat at the table I can think of the fact that you and Mary Fischer and Kathleen Morgan got the 2 men on the school board to agree unanimously to help us get single-member districts and expand the school board. So there's just so much that Mama Dozier has helped the school district do, and we're very proud of you, and we thank you for your service. I also want to congratulate Kathleen Morgan on her reelection. We hadn't always seen eye to eye, but in the general election I voted for her because I thought her opponent kind of disqualified herself in my position, in my mind. So I want to thank you, Kathleen, for your reelection. I congratulate you on your reelection. The other thing I want to talk about, the board has expanded. We're getting some new blood. Congratulations to Melissa. She's going to be fantastic. She's a great lady. I've seen her at these meetings, and I can tell you I think she's a great successor to Jeanne Dozier. So I think Melissa will be a great addition to the board. We're going to welcome back Dr. Cuckle as well. What I want to say to the board tonight is about this reorg you're going to have on Friday. This is very important to me because I believe having rules to the road is important. In 2008, we're going to most likely have an African American get elected to the school board. And either in Steve's district or Pam's district. What I would say to the board is very simple. The county, you all have put in your protocols that you're going to rotate the chairmanship. We don't need to go back to the days where we don't want somebody to be the chairman. We saw that with the county commission. So under your existing protocol, if you're going to rotate it, Mrs. Fischer would be the chair and Melissa would be the vice chair. And then you would proceed to go on throughout the ward, the district. So I would just hope that you all stick to your protocol. Thank you very much.
We have to fix it for you because we just got to fix it. It's part of the conversation.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Mr. Fox, I don't know, this afternoon we were supposed to have the report out of the committees that report to the board, and we moved this, decided to move that to December, and the reason why I did that is, we had 2 members on our board that's haven't had much sleep for weeks and weeks, and I just wanted to give the respect to them, and there was nothing, those reports could get deferred, and more importantly, I wanted to wait because we, as a board, collectively, really believe in our board, in our committees. Not only our student committee, advisory committee that we just formed, but our existing committees, we really want to use them as proper conduits to our community, to our business work, to our business folks, to our schools, to our parents, and we feel that we can do better. And so I know I think the 5 of us have come, and the 7 of us will, I'm sure, agree in consensus that we need to workshop this to figure out the best way to be able to get that feedback back to the committee so that they feel the work is being done. So during that workshop, we'll find out. I'll find out where this is because I don't know particularly. Ms. Morgan may be able to add a little bit to it, and a matter of fact, I'll take point of order. Do you know where that is on the internship, or?
No, I know. All I know is that staff is working on it.
So we will have a better mechanism that we can actually keep better ties, that we actually have milestones and dates to be able to get back to our committee. So that's all in the work that's going to be happening in this reformation. So then when we report out to our committees, we'll be a lot more effective. So I appreciate the question, and just give us a few weeks to get back on that. Mr. Thomas, I appreciate your comments. As far as Ms. Dozier, I'm sure all of our board members will have comments at our time of comments because you can't say enough about Jeanne Dozier, so I appreciate that. And the same thing, I think everybody's going to comment the congratulatory of Ms. Morgan, having her back on our board. And the issues that you talked about as far as our committee, our workshop is open to the public. We encourage you to be there, but we will make that the best and most efficient board to do it, to give everybody on this board the opportunity to serve and to serve fairly and equally for all our community. With that said, we'll now move to the approval of the action items under the agenda of consent. Board members, do you have any polls for today? I'll start with you, Ms. Fischer.
I have no polls this evening.
Ms. Dozier.
I have none, thank you.
Ms. Morgan.
I have none.
Ms. LaRiviere.
I have none.
And I have one, and the poll, and I should have been better with my agenda. Under Executive Services, 4E1. Board members, will we approve the agenda? We'll have a motion for the approval of the consent agenda minus 4E1, page 87.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Morgan, seconded by Ms. LaRiviere. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. At this point, I would ask that Dr. Atkins read the recommendation of 4E1, page 87.
Yes, sir. I recommend board approval of the general personnel recommendations, including administrative, certificated, support, and substitute staff, out-of-field appointments, and annual reappointments.
And this is the one, the addition, and my computer's not working. I actually signed on the students one, but I couldn't get my computer to work. But I believe this is a new appointment for our director position for Mr. Blueberts.
Blurton? Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. The reason why I brought that up is we have increasing, we are moving our district into new challenges, and we have continually to take our employees internally and move them
Point
from
of order, Mr.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have to
we need a
motion. To have a motion to approve the agenda, the item.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Dozier, seconded by Ms. Fischer. Any discussion? Okay, thank you. Flustered that I can't get to my own computer. I'm gonna support this motion, and I just want to thank Dr. Atkins for taking the initiative to actually going out to our business community and actually striving. We've done that with the hiring of Mr. Law, going county and nationwide, finding gems that we have inside our community. Mr. Blurton and I actually attended Leadership Cape Coral together, and I got to know him quite personally. And I just would tell myself that we have so many dynamic people in Lee County that we have to go out and find the best and pull them into Lee County schools. We have so many opportunities in our schools to move us forward. We keep pulling all of our great teachers out to put them into administration. We need to have teachers filling in behind, people that are in industry that want to teach with our kids and touch our students. Come teach with us. Come teach with us. Come into our staff. Come into our resources. Come into our operations side. We need quality people continually because our good people continue to get promoted and move up to different positions and to keep moving on. And some of them, we lose a lot of people through our retirement. We have some of our key people that have been here 25, 30 years. We need to have a succession plan. So I will be supporting this, and I'm glad that we're actually pulling people from our community. Greg is just another dynamo that's going to be a great addition to our team, and I will support this wholeheartedly. With that said, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Included in the approval of the consent agenda, we had the resolution proclaiming November 13th through the 19th as American Education Week. And Dr. Atkins, would you please announce any other agenda, any other promotions and approvals that you got besides? Well, you can also add Mr. Blurton as well. But
Sure, absolutely. First of all, I will start out with Greg Blurton, who is being put into the position of Director, Planning, Growth, and Capacity. So right there. Thank you, sir. Also an outstanding Rotarian, I have to add, so. Also, I want to introduce Trey Davis, who we just hired for our Chief Technology Officer. So, Trey, if you could. Again, Mr. Toiber, I think Mr. Davis's appointment goes right along with your comments. He is coming to us from Georgia, but he's been literally all over the world in his capacity as somewhat kind of a mover or shaker in technology, and I think he's going to bring a world-class vision to our school district, so we're looking forward to him getting started real soon. They both start next Monday. Is that correct? Yes. So Monday they're going to be hitting the ground running. Also, I want to introduce Teresa Belanda, and I'm sorry if I messed that up, but Rama C. Page Elementary Assistant Principal. And Mark Macchia, Ray V. Pardorf Elementary Assistant Principal. So those are our 4 administrative appointments for this evening, and I'm sure they will all do a fantastic job for us.
Thank you, Dr. Atkins. I want to commend our IT. While you saw Dr. Atkins introducing people, our IT people came in, put their magic on my screen, and got me back working, so we're good. At this point, we're going to have our public hearing. Before we close the regular meeting, open up the public hearing, I'd like Dr. Atkins to please read his recommendation.
I recommend board approval of the revision of the 2017-2018 plan for student assignment to update the district policy to include school program updates, piloted programs, addition of relevant information, and changes due to House Bill 7029, Florida Open Enrollment Law. The effective date of this adoption shall be Wednesday, November 10th, 2016.
Thank you, Dr. Atkins. At this time, we will close the recess the school board meeting, open the public hearing. As indicated, the public hearing this evening is to consider the approval of the revision of the 2017-2018 plan for student assignment. At this time, the public will be invited to speak on this one item. The time will be allowed will be 3 minutes. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak on this item? Seeing nobody, I will now close the public hearing and reconvene the regular school board meeting of November 9, 2016. Dr. Atkins, would you please restate your recommendation?
And I recommend board approval of the revision of the 2017-2018 plan for student assignment to update the district policy to include school program updates, piloted programs, addition of relevant information, and changes due to House Bill 7029, Florida Open Enrollment Law. The effective date of this adoption shall be Wednesday, November 10th, 2016.
Board members, you heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Ms. Fischer, seconded by Ms. Morgan. Any discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. At this point, we'll now move to board member comments. We'll start with Ms. LaRiviere.
Okay, well, we have such a short meeting tonight, so I'm not going to go through visits and everything that's been going on, and I'm even going to just say to all of you, make sure that you find time to chat with someone who has served in our armed forces or still currently being serving, and thank them. And there are those out there who have served that still bear some wounds that you can't see and need someone to listen to their stories and laugh with them, cry with them, and just sometimes be with them. So I encourage each and every one of you, got 3 fingers pointing back at me when I say that, to take time to notice those who serve and thank them for sacrificing themselves and the luxuries that staying at home could be to go and serve and to be willing, if need be, to lay down their lives. So we are very privileged to live in this country. That is why our country is set up so that because of those men and women who have served, we still have that freedom so that we can do a transition from one president to another. We can choose to disagree, and we can still rally around each other, because what makes this country great are the communities within which we live. And so thank them. And speaking of, Jeanne, you have been the veteran for me. I want to thank you personally and verbally for your years of service. I believe it's 16. Ah. You must have started at a very young age. I just want you to know that it has been a privilege over the years to watch your leadership as a teacher and It's been a pleasure to serve with you these last 2 years, and you will be missed. But we've had times where we've all been able to laugh, and I hope you can think of some fun times and have some fun. You do it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. LaRiviere. Ms. Morgan?
I want to share Mr. Toiber's enthusiasm for these appointments. I'm really excited to see Mr. Davis and Mr. Blurton come on board. I think Dr. Adkins has done a great job putting forward an organization that positions us well for the 21st century to be a great school district. And these are just more appointments that proves that he has the vision and the ability to carry it off. So terrific appointments. I want to thank Diplomat Elementary. I loved their song Unsung Heroes, and it reminds me that we do forget to thank our teachers every day, and I feel very privileged to work in a learning community with so many unsung heroes, so thank you. I also was very appreciative of the Citizenship Digital Design Award that was done by the Estero student. I think it is incredibly appropriate for today. And finally, I want to thank Mrs. Dozier. She has been dedicated her entire life to public education. She has been a leader in this school district for many, many years. She brought that experience to the board table and was an incredibly articulate and effective advocate for students and teachers. As a new board member, I found her to be a fantastic mentor, someone who was eager to embrace a new board member, show me the ropes, encourage me, and I just think we've had a great working relationship. And finally, I have to say that I think this board is going to miss Mrs. Dozier's leadership, experience, and just her drive at the local and state level to do what's right for kids in public education, do what's right for educators in public education. I think I have learned a great deal watching her, and your talents will be missed. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Ms. Dozier?
All right, thank you. Well, I would like to congratulate Ms. Morgan, Dr. Kuckel, and Ms. Giovanelli, who is in the audience tonight. And I would ask that the audience join with me in giving all of them an applause for a race well run. You know, you never know what it's like to campaign until you're out there on the trail. So I can tell you from 16 years of experience and 4 or 5 runs under my belt, it is a lot of work. It's a job all in itself. So congratulations on your win, Ms. Giovanelli, and I wish you all the best. I would like to also thank Mr. Thomas. I've known Mr. Thomas since he was in the 10th grade. We've had good times and we've had some disagreeing times, but we've always come together for one thing, and that's what's in the best interest of this community and the best interest for students. So thank you for continuing to be a voice out there. And like I've told you in the past, I'm going to see you in a seat somewhere one day. I just don't know where and don't know when, but I know you're going to do that. I would also like to thank my family, my husband, who is just my rock and has been right there beside me. My children, they've just been great for me, and all of my fellow board members. I've had the opportunity to work with 5 great boards. We didn't always agree, but one thing that we always did, we always tried to do what was best for children. That's right. And as I move forward, I would ask that all of you continue to do what is in the best interest of children. Remember how important teamwork is, and remember that you are the models for the community. You are the models for every school that we represent. And whether you know it or not, the actions at this table do trickle down into the schools. So just remember that as you are setting your protocols, as you are changing your policies, as you are making anything. Dr. Atkins, it has been such a pleasure to work with you. I know that you're just going to be an outstanding leader. I am behind you 100%. I continue to be behind you 100%. And I just hope that this board will embrace you as the new board will embrace you as this board has done. And I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. If they would just kind of take pause and take some deep breaths and watch you and let you do your stuff and let us do what we need to do or what they need to do, and that is make policy and then get out of the way and let you do what you do best. So that's very important. Mr. Martin, you have always kept us straight. Any advice that I could leave behind would be always listen to your attorney. You might not like what he tells you sometimes, but always listen to what he says because he guides you on the right path. To all of my constituents out there, I want to thank you so much. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time representing this community for the last 16 years. One of the things that I said that I always did, and I think I said this last night, is anytime I made any kind of a tough decision, I always said, how is this going to affect children? Is it in the best interest of children? And if my answer was yes, then I went along with it. If my answer was no, this isn't in the best interest of children, then I didn't support it. And that was the way that I made all of my decisions. And, you know, you can say you make decisions with your heart, but you've got to have your brain behind it because come to the table always prepared with everything that you have and look at all the information out there. My team Dozier, my team that has worked with me over the years, I have people that have still supported me that were on this team run. I would be remiss if I did not thank them for all of the many volunteer hours because, you know, like Trump and Miss Hillary, they both had paid employees and had, you know, hundreds of people that were working their campaigns, and most of them were getting paid. But in school board races and in your lower races, it's all volunteering. And so the people that were out there volunteering on my campaign, I want to thank them. You ran an outstanding race, and I appreciate everything that you did. Again, it has been my distinct pleasure. I look forward to this school district becoming a world-class school district. I have no doubt that it will, and I have no doubt that you will have a good board and they will work with you and that y'all will move forward. And I'm looking forward to reading nothing but positive in the paper. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dozier. Ms. Fischer.
Thank you. Well, first of all, from Mrs. Dozier, I've learned a lot, and it's been a pleasure and an experience to serve with you for 6 years. So I appreciate all that you have shown us about the history of the activities of this school board and your enthusiasm and your creativity and your undying want to do what's right for kids serves as a model for us all, and we will continue on in your honor. I want to congratulate Mrs. Morgan for an amazing victory, and I look forward to continuing working with you also. And to Ms. Giovanelli, Dr. Kuckel, I would like to also congratulate you, and to Ms. Patrica, and we will do good work, just like Jeannie taught us to. You know, this is American Education Week, and the school board is accountable to the entire community. The school board is responsible to create a climate that allows change and encourages innovation and supports students and staff. That's what we're all about. We must, as Mr. Fox says, be the tellers of the story about the children, about the schools, and about our vision for the future. As someone that we know well once said, we've got to keep the main thing, and that's the education of our children. And Mr. Fox, I don't want you to be mistaken and think that we are not out there visiting schools and showcasing our kids. And having the student performances here before our board meetings is one of the ways we do that. But I would invite you to look at any one of our calendars any day, and you will see that when we're not here at a meeting, we are out in the community telling the story and advocating for our students and our staff. As you all know, that I am very involved in the Drug-Free Coalition. And Amendment 2, the medical marijuana, et cetera, has passed. So the message from the board of the Drug-Free Coalition is that we have been anticipating this and planning for it for 4 years. And now we have many good prevention programs in place for students. The Drug-Free Coalition partners not only with local community agencies to keep kids safe, but with the school district. And Dr. Adkins, Ms. Pamela asked me again to thank you and your student services staff for all of their support and for providing opportunities for our community agencies and our Drug-Free Coalition grants to be presented to our students in the school. And we will continue to do that to give kids the tools they need to make good choices. We have a brief legislative update, and I just wanted to say that, of course, with the elections, the Speaker of the House has named his top committee chairs. And from our delegation, our local delegation, Representative Ray Rodriguez will serve as the majority leader, and Representative Matt Caldwell will serve as the chair of the Governmental Accountability Committee. And Representative Bileka will chair the House Education Committee. So we look for, of course, changes, and we continue to work to protect public education, which, has been and is at risk. But we don't stop doing what's right for kids. I want to also congratulate our other local candidates and winners of the races for putting themselves out there, because as Mrs. Dozier said, it's no easy task running a campaign for all those months. And so I want to congratulate them, and we'll continue to work together as a close-knit community, and we are, and we have wonderful support in our community, and we will make our school district the best one in Florida and in the nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fisher. Ms. Dozier.
I did. I left one thing out, and I don't know how in the world I did that. I would also like to publicly thank Ms. Susan Johnson and Ms. Linda Benzing. They are the two ladies in our office that provide us support, and without them, we would not be able to do our jobs. They do an outstanding job for us, so thank you for everything that you've done over the years. It is greatly appreciated. And of course, I also want to talk about the staff for just a minute. The superintendent has a wonderful staff. I appreciate everything that you do in and out every single day for the children of this community. A lot of times you don't get to see the fruits of your labor until many, many years later, or you don't get that thank you every day from a child or get that thank you from a parent. You hear from more of the bad things than the good things, but thank you for what you've chosen for your life's work. Thank you for what you do for this community, and continue to support the superintendent and do a good job at it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dozier. I, too, would like to congratulate the three new board members, Ms. Patrica, Ms. Giovanelli, and Ms. Kuckel, for coming on board, and the incumbent, Ms. Morgan. All four will be coming to us. We'll be here this Friday for our reorganization, and you'll see the new team as far as the new board. And then I want to go to Ms. Dozier. I've served with Ms. Dozier since 2002 when I was the Vice President of Operations with Paul Corporation, no education background whatsoever, a business person, and I learned very, very quickly that it is not the same. With all the state requirements and guidelines and federal mandates, it is truly like trying to squish a balloon and to capture a balloon, because you squeeze it one place and it squirts out somewhere else, and it would really drive normal people crazy. And you really have to be in education to understand what's really best for our kids, or get that insight from educators, because they are truly, truly gifted and blessed people to be able to work with our children and deliver them the way they do, from the operations side to our teachers, to our bus drivers. Everybody that touches our children are truly, truly gifted people. And if you don't know how wonderful it is in our school systems, you need to go visit our schools. It's just truly amazing. But when you get to the very top, and Ms. Dozier started in the school. She taught, was a teacher. She became the best. She was a golden apple teacher. She was an assistant principal. She did it all. And then she became a board member, and she became the best there. If you ever Google school board member, you'll see a picture of Ms. Dozier, because she did it all and she did it right. She represented us at the state level, at the federal level, at the regional level, at the national level, chaired just about every organization all the way through her tenure. So she was by far did this service to this community. But personally, she was a friend. She was loyal to every board member here. She always did what's best for the community, for everybody else, putting herself last. She was always a compromiser, trying to get everybody together. She really brought a lot of the glue that held this board together, and I will thank you from the bottom of my heart. You will truly be missed, and big shoes to fill. So that's all I have. Moving on to Mr. Martin.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Toiber. Ms. Morgan, congratulations. Look forward to working with you for 4 more years. Mrs. Dozier, 4 terms, 16 years, that's a long time. And that's a great majority of the time that I've served this school board. You've been a school board member for almost all the time that I've been here. And we've faced a number of tough challenges over the years. Together, we've faced those challenges. As the board's attorney, I thank you for the support that you've provided to me over the years, supporting the work that I do. As a parent of 2 graduates of Riverdale High School, as a citizen of this county, I thank you for your service to the Lee County School District. I wish you well. I wish you more time with your friends, more time with your family, more time with your grandson. I'm envious of that. And I wish you God's blessing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Dr. Adkins.
Again, I'd like to again congratulate Kathleen Morgan on your reelection. 4 more years. That's fantastic. Have an opportunity to continue to work together. I'd like to also congratulate Chris Patrica on her election. Also, Dr. Jane Kuckel. Have the opportunity to work with her again. And Melissa Giovanelli. So congratulations, and look forward to working with all of you. I also want to just speak for a moment about Mrs. Dozier. I'll apologize first for doing this, but I'm going to mention a year, and that's because it gets to the long tenure of committed public service to education and children. She started teaching in Montgomery, Alabama in 1977, when she was probably about 10 years old or younger. And then there she was awarded Alabama Teacher of the Year for Daughters of the American Revolution, and also National Teacher of the Year for the same organization. So that's a fantastic accomplishment. And then we were lucky enough to get her recruited down here in Lee County, but just right around the time I came down here. I came down in '88. You came down in '89, and began teaching. So she has been a teacher in this district. She has been an administrator in this district. I think the first time I bumped into you, you were probably at Mariner High School, I believe, at the time, working for MAC. And then elected to the school board in the year 2000. So has served the students, teachers in this community for 16 years, and that's quite a remarkable achievement. President of the Florida School Board Association in 2007, 2008, and was a very active president. I remember that, and really we felt that certainly the interests of Lee County and also school boards across the state were well represented. Also past president of the Greater Florida Consortium of School Boards. Some other accolades: Lee County Bar Association Teacher of the Year in 1994, Outstanding Teacher of the Year, Cape Coral Chamber of Commerce, 92-93, and then I have to talk about the community involvement. You know, Lee County Teen Court, you really helped start that. Leadership Lee County, class of 2002. Salvation Army, she started the angel tree here. I remember doing that. We're going to do that again, and that was a wonderful, I think, wonderful community service event that took place last year. Florida Learning First Alliance, Impact Board of Directors, and PACE Center for Girls, which is, if you haven't had an opportunity to visit PACE, it's a fantastic, fantastic organization. But just on a personal note, I have to tell you that you know, I've been in this district 29 years now. This is my 29th year, and being an administrator, particularly down in the district office, it certainly goes with a number of significant challenges, and there have been some very, very, very difficult times. Yeah, I can tell you personally, it's some of the most difficult times in my administrative career. You know, there's where I've had to actually, you know, go to board members on some very difficult issues, and Mrs. Dozier was right there to stand up for what was right during a very, very difficult time, and I sincerely appreciate that. And I also have to tell you that when you become appointed superintendent, that there is nobody that is there to be a mentor, because you're like the only superintendent in the county, and often you don't. I wasn't assigned a mentor, but she really helped show me the ropes. I mean, I remember one of our first conversations where she just, because I was just been appointed interim, do you want to be superintendent? And I gave the politically correct, well, I want to serve Lee County, blah, do you want to be superintendent? Yes. And she said, all right, well then let's get started. And started out introducing me to some very important people in Lee County that really we need to work with as community leaders at the Business and Industry Awards, and on from there, always giving me advice on how to conduct yourself as a superintendent, who you need to make connections with, reminding me that I need to send thank you notes to people when we go tour a facility or whatever. But these are things that people don't, there's no book on how to become a superintendent or any of that kind of stuff. And but she sat there and watched, I don't know how many in 16 years, but the advice was always good and well-meaning and in the best interest of this district. So I just have to say, for all of those reasons and more, thank you so much for your service to this community. And I know this is not an end at all. I know that you will continue to serve this community well, just in a different capacity. But I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your service to this district. Thank you. And that's all my comments.
Thank you, Dr. Atkins. This Friday is Veterans Day. If you go on our website, you can see that there is a lot of activities that are going on in our schools to honor our veterans. We'd like to thank all our veterans from this board. Each and every one of us would thank all the veterans, and we hope that all of you take the opportunity to do so as well. Thursday, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., there is a presentation out at Riverdale. 11 o'clock, there is a parade in Cape Coral, and there's many more. Those are just the ones that I know, because those are the ones I'm in. But there's a whole lot more, and if you go on our website, they're all put out on our website. Our next scheduled meeting of the board is on Friday, November 11th. There's a school board organization workshop at 12 p.m. And on Tuesday, November 22nd, there's a school board action meeting at 6 p.m. At this point, having no other business to come before this body, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Morgan, seconded by Ms. Dozier. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.